Hello and welcome to episode 11 of our Timberborn Update 6 Apocalypse mode here with the Iron Teeth in Cycle 8, Day 4. Last time, we did a bunch of stuff that maybe it wasn't completely smart. I guess we'll just say that. So let's go ahead and hit pause and we're going to talk about it. I want to address right off the bat. These water sources here, yes, the water will not go back over the backside of these things. That has been established, so thank you for everybody reminding me of that. So we're going to immediately stop construction on this whole thing here and focus on other stuff. What we will do eventually, assuming we last that long, is to come in here and either put in another bit of levees on the top so it gets diverted off the back here, or we'll blast a channel and it'll go away that way. We're also going to stop building this whole bit right here, because there is just so much to get built right now, and we don't have food, and we don't have a whole lot of water. It's going to be much more important for us to focus our efforts on things that are going to be more achievable. So just to make sure, to make absolutely sure we don't do any other foolishness, just pause all of these completely so that nothing else can be built over here. We've got both of these things paused. That should be fine. And then we're going to have this district up here, District 7, quote-unquote, probably going to have to bring a couple beaver people, beavers, whatever you want to call it, back up here just to start planting some of this stuff again. And yes, I have heard your cries. The water being wasted going into this is not going to be forever. We are going to go ahead and build this levee with the help of this staircase. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn this canyon, like we originally wanted to do, into a reservoir, because this is going to be really, really easy to do. And all we've got to do, we don't even have to worry about this bit right here. All we've got to do is build something across here, which is not going to be too terribly difficult. We're just going to have to manage it a little bit. And we're going to start laying all this out before we have any problems with resource allocation. Just keep the game nice and paused, nice and easy. And for the sake of what we're looking at here, I'm not even going to bother cutting these trees down because that's going to take too much time. We absolutely must start on this immediately. Remember that our minimum length for the temperate cycle is 7 days. So it's entirely possible that we don't have time to actually do this. But fear not. Will not be a challenge for us to make good use of most of this stuff. I am also going to pause, well, I guess all of this. Probably going to have to. Easiest thing to do, probably just get rid of that so that we can't actually reach anything. But you know how this goes. If I don't take the time now to make sure this is paused, it's absolutely going to be built, which we definitely don't want. What we do want, however, is we want this builder's hut to be utilized, but we're going to have to be very careful about how we do it because, again, we don't have a lot of food. We've got a bunch of corn that hasn't been turned into anything. But these guys right here use 120 HP apiece, and this thing right now only has a output with 2 of these guys at around 150. If the well-being was higher, it would be a little higher, but obviously it's not. So we're really, really going to have to be careful about how we do stuff here. I wanted to have the inventor because you guys keep asking me to build stuff that we can't afford. So would love to be able to do that, but the large tank, which keeps coming up a whole lot, we can't do it yet. We just can't do it. I don't have 600 science. I don't have 30 metal blocks, especially. And the rest of this is just going to take way too long. Number Cruncher, you already know, this is absolute foolishness to think we could build this anytime soon. So we're not going to worry about that. And because we are in absolute crisis water mode, regardless of whether or not we get this dam built, I am going to just outright pause the inventors, even though there's nobody going in there. I don't want to get caught by surprise. And up here we have the hauling post, which is very necessary. That's fine. We're going to keep that going. But these guys pumping right here, we might have to take a few away. We definitely want corn to be planted, and that's not going to take too long if we have everybody in the farmhouses. Because remember, once we plant the corn, it's going to take 10 days to grow. And we do have diversion completely set up, so there's no danger of bad water ever happening again over here. We just need to make sure we're managing resources effectively. So, since we have kind of, in some of your opinions at least, a large population, I am just going to go ahead straight up pause the breeding pods entirely. We already had these two paused right here because of reasons, but now we shouldn't be using any more water, any more, well, not food, we don't have the berries harvested anyway. But yes, I am aware that these consume 5 and 5. I just see this number, and that's what I think of as the immediately present need to keep the thing going. So, taking care of that is good. Farmhouses unpaused. We unfortunately do, well, I guess not unfortunately, because they have to eat something, but we do have to have these food factories going. This has been set to supply. I'm going to go ahead and set it to obtain, so the haulers will bring stuff down here so that these guys, even though it's being prioritized by the haulers, they will be able to just go just like that. If they don't make the sound effects, then that's bad. You already know that. So, I think, all things considered, remember that this district has effectively, at this point in time, been abandoned, minus these guys who are just building. I think we are probably okay to at least get this thing jump-started a little bit. Get these guys planting the corn. All these set to planting priority. Yes, they are. Yeah, so they're going to be taking care of that. We do have technically more than half power into this. These guys only putting out 153 because, well, they don't really have the energy to do it. So we'll give them a third beaver. Try to do what we can. Remember that we have... Oh, there's nobody in the hauling post. Well, I neglected to remember that this is all connected again, so we will unfortunately have to pause pretty much everything up here, although we really do need to get these guys planted as well. Yeah, get that paused, get that paused. That's not even connected, so that's not a problem. I don't think there's any other jobs that are currently open, aside from whatever they were trying to build here that I've now paused. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure this should help substantially. Yeah, so now we actually have some haulers in here. Just got to get this thing rocking and rolling. And of course we have all of this mess. But what's going to happen here is that we're going to have levees all the way across. And we do have the ability to get over here. So that's not going to be an issue. We definitely want to have this even just... well, I guess technically this high would have that start filling up too. But this absolutely has to, if we're going to be doing anything with this absolutely has to be a thing. And right now we are still flushing the nasty water out of here a little bit, so this is fine that this doesn't currently exist. So these guys are taking all of my materials out from here, because I thought that was going to be a super easy thing to do when this is separate districts, but... Got these stairs really need to get built so that we can do this thing. At the very least, these couple of levees here, so that we have a little bit stand a chance of not being completely obliterated. We are going to have a bridge there. But again, there's just so much that has to get done. It's going to be really, really hard. You already know. You already know. Get these guys back in here. I know we have 18-hour days. We're going to go up to 20s. I think we might be able to make that work. Obviously, we don't have a whole lot of food right now, so I'm going to turn one of these gatherer flags on so we can at least have a couple berries to eat, because these will keep growing pretty much indefinitely. That's not going to be a problem at all. But we've got quite a bit of stuff to take care of and not a lot of time to do it. Now, why are you going over here, dude? There should be absolutely no construction occurring whatsoever. This is paused. This is paused. So, what? Where are you going, dude? Where are you going, dude? You should have no reason to be bringing anything over here. This is all paused. Unless... I forgot. Alright, well that's paused. Now you can turn back around. There you go. There you go. I was wondering exactly what was happening here, because that didn't make any sense at all. Alright, well, that's fine. Just letting these guys do what they're gonna do. Alright. We're all exhausted. We got no food. That's fine. We'll just, we're gonna be hurting. we're gonna be hurting something fierce here, folks. Well, I guess it could always be worse. Because these guys do not have anything to eat. And that's really gonna not be ideal. Oh, and I neglected to turn this lumberjack flag... Lumberjack flag, not lumberjag flag, whatever that is. Sounds like some sort of stupid thing. Alright, do we at least have any of these actually being made? I mean, obviously the answer is yes, but... Alright, I think at this point I can sacrifice 2 of these guys to go do other stuff. Do I have enough to open that second builder's hut? No, not really. Not really. So we gotta get this stuff taken care of. I'm gonna put a sluice at the bottom here, which I guess I could go ahead and just... Ah, no I can't, because there are trees in the way. Well. Regardless, there's plenty of stuff that we do actually need to take care of. That it will be fine for it to happen that way. Why do we have beavers coming all the way up here? There's no planks here. Are they grabbing them out of this? No, there's no other storages here. Please tell me there's not another construction project I've forgotten to pause. That really would not be, smart. Oh, the haulers are coming up here to do this. That's definitely, definitely something we want to turn off. So the haulers aren't wasting all of their efforts doing that nonsense. Alright, is this doing clean water yet? Not entirely, but basically yes. So, the idea with this was to completely encapsulate, like we originally set off to do at the very beginning of the series, completely encapsulate this thing in some sort of shaft so that the good water doesn't get in and the bad water doesn't get out. And again, my goal is to have this have at least a little bit of water stored up that can flow out into here to be pumped. If we're going to be able to get that accomplished, I think we can. That farmhouse can get paused as well. Now, I got 6, so I can open this builder's hut. But we can get these guys taking care of everything else. And somehow we still don't have any food. It's astounding. Like, I know it's very, very lackluster performance here by our beavers on the wheel of torture here. But, you know, something's got to give at some point. At some point, it really has to. Where's all my wood storage? I got wood here. I got scrap metal there. I know I've got some wood up here. That's fine too. They can go grab all of that. I literally just need this to be at least 2 or 3 blocks high before the start of the drought or the bad tide, as it were. This, of course, is going to continue filling up and then overflowing, which is fine. We can still pump water out of here and be okay, but I really would have felt a whole lot better if I had remembered that this would have been a smart idea a lot sooner. But, you know, that's not always how it goes, folks. So, this is now no longer a priority because we really should have everybody focusing on building this down here. I just want to make sure I have at least that one there so all of our water doesn't immediately drain. Because the water, if I replace this with a dam or a floodgate, or just take it out entirely, this will go all the way through here, through this channel. Now that that's in there, it won't go down into that hole, and it will come this way and make its way through all of this mess, and then drop down into here. So in theory, this now is actually able to backfill all of this, but I don't have anywhere for the stuff to get stored. So I don't think that's going to be that big of an issue either. We'll see what happens. We do have our 2 haulers doing hauler-type things with whatever it is that they're doing. This corn is growing, which means these 2 can be paused, which means we have more haulers, which means things are going to go a little bit quicker. And that's exciting. Somebody did leave a comment saying that we should try to grow some kohlrabis as well. And that's not a bad idea. It didn't feel like that was worth us spending a whole lot of time and effort on. But you know what? I will, as soon as I say I'd pause the farmhouse, I will humor you and I will go ahead and plant some. Just because it's no maintenance, easy, no processing food to get everything accomplished here. Now, I know it's only been like 1 day in the past 5 minutes, but I feel it. Why are we still building this? Alright, see, that's my buffoonery on display once again. I neglected to remember that I had so many different things over here. Remember, kids, you don't have to be like me. You can use your brains. Now, are we grabbing logs from here? Yes. Okay, if we were still building something else, then that would be quite unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Alright. Are we actually building anything? Where are you going with this? Where are you going with this? How are you able to get in here? Through the corner of the... I swear to God. Stop it. I just keep uncovering new ways in which my incompetence has sealed my fate. Well, it is what it is. Are we gonna have any shot of actually accomplishing anything here? The food is just constantly not sufficient. Because they're always so hungry, they just consume it en masse. Alright. Now, builder beavers, are you actually accomplishing anything? It seems like the answer to that question may end up actually being yes. I guess we'll have to wait and see. For whatever that's worth. We just need these guys to remove these pines so we can take care of everything else. At least the food's kind of catching up. No surprise construction, right? No more surprise construction. We're just walking around, doing our thing. Alright, that's fine. At least we have 1,000 water. That's important. We can always grow more food. And we have plenty of food. We just have to process it. Yeah, I do have another builder's hut if I had enough beavers to run it. That would probably be fine. Alright, this can be paused, so that's going to give me 7 out of 10. Okay. I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead. They don't have to come up here to actually use this unless they have nothing to do. But I do have to have them employed as builders. So, now let's please get rid of these things here. Get that completely removed so we can actually build this nonsense, please and thank you. Hopefully everybody's doing okay here. We do have a little bit of a problem with not having enough water storage, but if we can somehow manage to get this even a tiny bit high, then we will be able to store a little bit of water here, and it won't be the end of the world. We have at least another 3.5 days to get this done. And remember, bad tide diversion has already been achieved. We are totally fine. It's just a matter of how much can we pad for time during our next long drought, long bad tide with water we can actually consume. Yeah, so having 12 beavers work as builders, I think, is definitely the right move here. Just because there's so much that's got to get done. I'm going to go ahead, actually, and pause this guy because we can build in the middle here with all of this nonsense. And we can actually come in from both sides, which is really gonna help. So 2 sluices, just because I think I'm going to need that much. Or I'm going to want that much. Do we have enough metal? No, I have enough metal for 1. So, in that case, never mind. We're just going to find out the hard way if this is actually going to be viable. I just put it kind of in the middle. Hopefully that actually, you know, works. Oh, that's not connected to anything anyway. That's fine. But we definitely want them to be able to build all of this stuff in a way that isn't going to get anybody silly-billied, because you know that's always what happens if I'm not careful. So maybe I should just kind of not worry about it. And I know I'm going to have some metal blocks, so unfortunately I'm going to have to turn one of these back on, turn that back on. We don't have any corn to harvest yet. Oh, I missed one. Oops. That definitely was not ideal. But I think for right now, we're probably going to want to get a couple more haulers versus having more pumpers. Now that we do have 1,200 water, which, again, is not enough. I know. I know. But we're gonna really, really want to have access to the right kind of stuff. Why are they coming up here with all these... Why are they coming up here to get these logs? Are they going to these paused lumberjack flags? Because I don't have any storage really anywhere else. Pretty sure this is all fine. Well, as long as they build the stuff, I don't really care. I just need 2 more metal blocks. And this is doing, it's doing its best. Slowly. Okay, that's not going to finish, so I'll do 20 hours. There we go. Just to get that all taken care of here. Yeah, see, they're immediately trying to build this one. I know it's probably because I clicked on it first, but whatever. It's fine. I literally just need them to build this. Alright, come on, no whammies. Ah, son of a... Well, at least it's a drought and not a bad tide. That's definitely, definitely better than the alternative. So, the good news is, we're in a situation now where we can build up clean water behind here. I'm going to manually close this sluice, and then I think, because I've closed that, I can get away with just closing this. And we should, it might surge a little bit, but we should start building up water up here, and that's going to really, really, really help us out. Because this is going to be a lot of water here that we can just continuously release and keep pumping. So, you know, not the end of the world. I definitely would have preferred to have this finished. But we're going to have to keep our eye on what all is happening here when we get around to it. Oh, these beavers live here. That's why. Okay, well, I'll tell you what. Let's just concentrate all these guys down at the bottom. That I really should have figured that out a lot sooner. But you know how it goes. It doesn't always work like that, does it? Definitely doesn't. Now that we have water, we have food, I am going to unpause these breeding pods because we do need to continuously have additional beavers born because we have some dying. But I think that was right to do what we did there. So now we have to have this last metal block put in place for this sluice to be operable. And then, if we have time, I'd really like to come up here and replace this with a sluice. Actually, sluice might not be the right one. It might just have to be a dam. Yeah, because it's going to be constant overflow in here anyway. But that's a last ditch kind of thing, because it doesn't matter if this isn't going to be able to be filled up anyway. Yeah, we're going to end up flooding all of this. Obviously, this will need to be removed, but that's not that big of a deal. We just have to make sure the rest of this is reasonably complete, and then we can figure out how we're going to get across this. Just going to take some time. Just going to take some time. How are we doing on a metal block? 21%. Well, in theory, that should be done before the end of the day, but you always know how these things go. We've managed to get ourselves into a position where nothing is ever truly horrifyingly bad, but it's definitely still not good. Alright, so get this guy off the large power wheel. That should be enough to run 2 of those. Continue making the corn rations. We have plenty of corn. It's continuing to grow. That's not that big of a deal. Yeah, let's get these guys to build the rest of this nonsense here. And we're going to be in good shape. Let's just go ahead and set this up. I'm going to say close above downstream depth 0.85. And make sure these are all ready to go. Reminder that we do have plenty of water coming through here. And at some point soon, this will end up being too much for this, and it will start overtopping. But that is going to be a nice amount of water to have access to for the duration of whatever length drought this is. Just got to continue being kind of smart. I'm not going to say we're completely smart, because you know that's not the case. But we are trying. We're doing our best. Sometimes that's all you can do, is just your best. I very much would like it if this would completely fill up, but I know that's one of those things that's going to take time. And the reason I'm not putting anything here is because the water flow coming out of these guys is much more powerful, substantially more powerful than this. So this by itself would never be able to fill this. If this is getting backfilled, then that's a completely different story. That's completely doable. So we just have to decide how high this is going to be before I decide to build over the top of it with some stairs, because I don't have the science for the ladders yet. And in this district, I think I have... do I have planks? No, it's all one district, so now I can't actually tell. I don't have any planks stored up there at all. Okay, well that's not a problem then. I just need to be able to build the correct platforms here. I'm pretty sure, I just said this like 5 or 6 times, but I'm pretty sure this is going to end up being fine. Fine enough for me to build this at least while we're still sitting here. Then we don't have to worry about it later. But we definitely need to get the rest of this taken care of so we can start filling everything up. I know they're still working on what they're going to be working on. Not too much else we can do about that. Water storage is, well, it's water storage. It's going to be what it's going to be. We need to increase it, but the good news is we don't have to deal with a bad tide, and this is diverting now, so I'm going to go ahead and open this. Set this to close above downstream depth 0.85 so we don't accidentally flood everything. But this is completely closed. And I think for probably the rest of what we're looking at, this can just stay closed as we continue working on everything else. I just want this to be nice and full. Let everything through here. Hopefully it'll actually work. Well, it should, because this is just one sluice, so you know whatever comes through this could definitely come through this. Get these things all filled up. They're not going to be able to reach this until the rest of this is actually built. I was hoping it wouldn't flood this builder's hut, because that's kind of a pain. But some of this will go through here, which will end up being fine. Okay, I've got enough planks, kind of, to do this. So let's do that, get this built here. I will do one block of that. That's fine. This is already dumping anyway, so if we're going to dump it, we might as well, first of all, make sure there's no reason for them to come over here before we can fix this. Get this completely unconnected. I don't think there's anybody over here. If there is, well, don't do that. So now we're going to have water come through here. Remember, it can't go in the hole, but it can start filling this up, and it will make its way all the way around. Oh, maybe not past this blockage. That could be a little bit of an annoyance. But it will eventually mesh with this. This is full enough at this point where I think it's probably fine. Just need to get these guys building the rest of everything else. I think it's going to be okay. I just wish this builder set wasn't completely compromised. That would be pretty convenient. Okay, that one's getting close. These are both getting close. I don't think they're going to need any more water or berries at this stage of the growing process, so I'll go ahead and pause those. And then I'll leave these two going. I don't want the beavers to actually be born yet, but we will need them at some point. Hey, this is caught up. Nice. Very good. And we do have water filling these areas. Yeah, I think... Oh, no, it's still going past. That's good. I was a little worried that we would have an issue with the drain hole being used for draining purposes without our consent, but that's... I think not going to be an issue. Now, this is still open. We might have a little bit of flooding here as we get around to it, but I think this is going to put us in a really good spot going into the drought here. I'm going to go ahead and pause this gather flag so we can get that beaver off doing something else. Okay, phrasing, I guess. Anyway, disregard. We're going to hopefully have these stairs sooner rather than later. so we can build the rest of our fun here. Yeah, see, now we actually have water coming through. And that's good. We just don't want it to flood our crops. Yeah, I know now that I have done a stupid, as the kids would say. 4 more planks for that, 4 more planks for that. I only have 10. Oh, and we're still building this. We also don't have any planks for that. Wow, okay. So I'm definitely doing a little bit of a stupid here. Well, we have enough food. Go ahead and unpause this lumber mill. Get our 4th beaver in here. Hopefully that will be enough. Yeah, still working on that. They are filling all of our storage, which is good. I know we need more, and I know we have another medium tank to build, and I know that's probably theoretically long-term more important than getting this accomplished, but now this should be stopped. Okay, it is closed, but yes, now we have all this because I specifically chose this. Remember, folks, I specifically decided that this would be a smart idea. Oh, yes. I love it when I'm right, but also wrong at the same time. Not really. But it does make for good content. So you guys benefit from that at least. I do have that paused, right? Okay. No, that's not paused. That needs to be paused. That's an easy thing to take a beaver away from. Okay, yep, still working there. Okay, so this is why I needed to have this open, because we have extra that's going to cause flooding, because now we've joined these two together in unholy reservoir matrimony. So yeah, just chew on that one for a minute. So that's almost done, which means that's going to be finished. But now the biggest, most important thing, and none of this is about to matter anyway, which is really really quite unfortunate. You think about it. We spent all this time. I got 0.8 days left, and I did it again. I did it again. All right, I'm gonna make the executive decision now that all of this is hereby banished from being constructed. So make your way back to this side, folks, and we're gonna. No, I said make your way back to this side, not come over here. No, and I can't even. Well, it's not connected to paths, so in theory, these guys shouldn't be coming up here. They really shouldn't be. Why are you... Stop it. Stop it. Get some help. Alright, you better come back here. You better come back here before they start building this nonsense, or you're going to be left behind like those dinosaurs. Come on. Man, I got 0.5 days to be done with this stuff. Come on. Come on, come on. You know, it's all the cool kids are doing it. All the cool kids are doing it. Is there anybody over here? No? Okay. Well, this is now priority numero uno. We're not going to get any better than this right now. So, I can't believe you're so dumb. Yes, I know. Thank you for acknowledging my stupidity. It's very validating. The really bad thing, though, is that now I have neither builder set actually connected. All right, we're pulling an all-nighter, folks. We are going to get this thing finished. Let's go, bud. Let's go. Let's go. Make it happen. Make it happen. All right. So after all that, we're gonna gain a very marginable amount of water actually stored. Let's make sure this is set to set to 0.10. No, it's 1.0, not 0.10. That goes all the way up. That's gonna go all the way up just so we don't pump it out. And in theory, we can just pump continuously until all of this is drained. And I really wanted this to be a little bit more viable, but you know how it goes. You know how it goes. That is all we can do, folks. Take this back down to, I guess, 18 hours is fine. How many days? 17 days. Okay. 17 days is still pretty good. I am confident that because of our water stores here that we somehow managed to remember that we were able to do, I'm pretty sure that we can make water work. We're just going to have to keep pumping. We're going to have to keep building storage. So on and so forth. And, yeah. It's a whole thing. I'm going to go ahead and unpause this one farmhouse so that we can harvest the kohlrabis and replant them and all of that fun stuff. And then, you know what? This lumberjack flag needs to go away anyway. And then so does this. We just need to put in our staircases here. Because remember, we can keep building this during the drought, and it's not going to be that big of a deal. We just may have made a teeny tiny blunder in how we decided to do this. But hey, it's good to have this extra water here. And this set to automatically keep it above 0.85. And all of this set to keep this above 0.85. So we can still work. We just have to be able to get across here. And we have to be able to do everything else that we said we were going to do. Which, you know, absolutely nothing new for this series in any manner. For this kind of nonsense to be happening here. But we can let these guys take care of that piece, and then this piece, and this piece, and then they can just go back to do whatever they were doing previously. But the good news is we have a lot of haulers. I can turn these pumps all the way on. I can turn this medium tank back on for construction. And we're going to be in, you know, much better shape than I thought we would. Just need to make sure we have enough planks to build this, plus enough gears, which will require that getting turned on. And I guess we probably should think about putting in another one of these large power wheels or an engine, but again, we don't have the science for the engine yet. And it takes 20 pieces of metal to do that. But once we have that in place, that's going to permanently free up 4 beavers, plus be a little bit of extra power. It's just one of those things that takes a lot of time, you know? It's just the way it goes. So fortunately, we do have a fairly decent setup at this point. I mean, we're not toast. We're just not doing too hot. You know, it's a whole thing. But you know, all things considered, once they have this completely finished and we get to our next temperate cycle, this might actually fill up a little bit. And that would be that'll be pretty good. But we do want to replace this with a dam, so we don't have to worry about losing bits and pieces of stuff here. And this is all completely dead with the exception of this, and that's unfortunately fine. This is backfilled. I still want to build this, but it seems that this is a much better way of doing this. At least for right now, so we can have everybody pumping to their heart's content. Filling up additional water storage, which these guys say they're full, but my total storage says it's not. So I don't know if it's counting the 300 for this that hasn't actually been finished, or if it's counting storage up. Aha, it's counting storage up here that's not connected. Okay, well, if our storage is currently full and this isn't ready to go, then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pause a bunch of these guys and get them in the inventor huts. We got 4 extras. Is this? Oh, that did birth a beaver for us. So did that one. I guess we can just let those continuously go. I don't want to grow my population very much, but I do want to have emergency beavers ready to go. And we want this forester to be going as well, but before we do anything else, we need to replant all of these as oaks. Because, actually, you know what? No, we can replant the mangroves too. Should have done that, like, immediately from the beginning. All of this, because we're not going to have any more bad water in here. So, why not? Why not just say, hey, let's have a whole bunch of mangroves here. Although this guy can't do that, I'd have to build another one down here, and that's unfortunate, but it's fine. Wait, can this guy even get down there? No, he cannot. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Let these guys do what they're going to do. See if there's anything else that we can reasonably justify employing beavers in. Because I don't really have anything else to, do here. I have logs, so I might as well continue putting in inventors. Flip that guy that way. That'll be fine. I'll put 2 more of those in, make sure they are lowest priority workplaces. And yeah, if this would have been a bad tide, it probably would have been game over. But now I will live to blunder another day. It's so dumb. It's so dumb, man. So I wonder, are they actually working on this yet? I think they are. So we're going to let them, do what they're going to do here. And then we will make our way back up here at some point. We're just not quite in the spot where that's necessary. Very much looking forward to having the other tank finished here. We need to keep building these, and yes, I know we do need to have the big ones. But materially speaking, that's just not viable at this point in time. It's just not something that's going to work out super fantastically. But more storage is always good. Even if it's technically less efficient, it's going to be fine. Don't need to worry about it. Yeah, see how quickly that gets filled up? Wow. Hey, and this isn't flooded anymore. So you know what that means? As soon as this wooden staircase gets built, we can have more builders back. And we can start actually working on other stuff. That's exciting. And then, yeah, we can have this whole upper district back. Except maybe not its separately thing. Wow, great job. My brain function decreases by the day. Yeah, and then they can finish this, which we won't need for quite some time, but that's okay. The most important thing is that we continue working on the rest of this stuff while we have the chance to. And, I mean, I guess we could have somebody come and replant the corn here, but, I mean, if we're not pumping this, it might be okay. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. It is just so rare to be in a situation where we're not in extreme panic mode at this point. Like, normally it's just like absolute chaos panic mode. But so far it hasn't been. This episode at least. Okay, so I know, again, the large tank is more efficient, but I don't have the science for it, and the science for other stuff is going to be much more important. Trust the process. I know it's hard. I know it's got to be incredibly frustrating, but we will in fact be better off for it. Just hoping that we can, actually have some mangroves planted here. Need to replant all those dead trees as well. So then we can have an extra food source. That's always good. Yeah, see now we're cooking over here. We got the guys working kind of. Oh, this is still disconnected over here. So they're building the why do I keep pausing this? They're building the dam, and that's good. So once that's finished, then all of this will be accessible again. We can have our extra builders. We'll have to keep an eye on how many haulers we have so we don't get those guys out of there, but gonna have to turn that on as well. I know this is not enough power. I know it's not enough power. It's gonna be okay. Don't worry. Yeah, we're gonna need to have those additional tanks over here. Unavoidable. Until we have the science to actually do what we're trying to do. But getting that engine unlocked is going to be choice. That's going to be a game changer. For sure. Now I got 18 empty slots, so why is that? I know there's not that many jobs open up here. We've got the 4 builders. All of this stuff is paused. Just got the two in the farmhouse. I've got this district center completely disconnected. I've got a builder's hut here. Ah, but see, now we've got corn. Well, we also have all of these things figured out. I guess as long as we have haulers, we're fine. As long as we have that, we're fine. I don't think we actually have anything being built either. We shouldn't have anything being built. I guess these guys are coming to get logs from up here. You know, maybe we should have this start to get built now. But I feel like the better play would be to just increase the height of this dam. Since we're already here. We can do that in increments as well. Yeah, because if that's the same height, which I think that should get me there. Yes, that'll get me there once we have all of this. Then this entire thing can just be one continuous reservoir. We'll, of course, leave this wall here because we have to filter the bad water out. But that's going to store a lot of water here and a lot of water here. We just have to increase the height of our little doohickey here. To be very specific in my wording. And then we can really get into some other stuff. Okay, and I guess it's time for me to address this now. I was under the impression that building one of these kind of things was not going to irrigate anything up here. But I was proven wrong with screenshots and evidence. So this whole time we could have had another farm up here that would have been completely out of the reach of the bad tide. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I do know it's possible now. But we're not in a situation where we need that quite yet. And I don't want to be dumping water if I can avoid it. So I'm going to choose to go ahead and get this farming taken care of here. We can replenish our supply of raw corn as we continue working on other stuff. I don't need to have the game slowed down. That's fine. We're well past the terror zone at this point. Just letting these guys do what they're going to do. Once I have my 400 science. Why did I say 180? 400 science, we're going to get that engine unlocked and then work toward getting that built in our area over here. Which hopefully, will end up working out fine. I think we're going to be okay. We just have a lot of farming stuff that we need to take care of. And we need to get these guys going. Get this built as much as we can. Keep building all of this mess. And I think that's going to be okay. Pause this farmhouse now that most of these corns are planted enough. Get these guys focused on being haulers down here. That one is still taken care of. Yeah, I'm going to deprioritize that builder's hut because the haulers are going to be so much more important. But we can continue chipping away at all of our fun here. You know the drill. Same as it ever was. Just do our best. I got storage for 400 berries. Do I want to have another gather flag opened up? I don't know, because as soon as I have enough water space to keep pumping, I am going to have to get these guys back in here. But it is very nice to know that this is pumpable. And we're probably going to go through it in pretty short order within the next 5 days or so. But we had it. And we're doing our best to try and get more of this stuff built. It just, again, it takes time. And we're going to have higher industrial capacity, which I know is going to have to come with the engine or another one of these, but I can't spare the beavers to run this thing, so perhaps against my better judgment, I will pause one of those food factories so that these can run at 100% speed. Hopefully that ends up being a good thing. All we can do is just keep on keeping on. That's it. That's all she wrote. And then the problem we're going to have is getting the beavers up here, so I am going to have to expand our, I guess, scaffolding, if you will. I got my triple platform here, which is probably fine to do something with. I just don't know, man. I miss having the ladders. I cannot justify unlocking the ladder before the engine. We just have to be a little bit more careful in how we're getting across this, so we might need to actually do a little bit of creative building here. I think we're fine. I think we're okay. We don't have a lot of logs, which is a problem. I did get rid of a bunch of those guys, so that is why I was replanting all this. That is marked for cutting, but there's nothing to cut, so these are marked for cutting as well. Let's go ahead and take care of that, and I'll put in a lumberjack flag. Let's just say right here. That'll work. I do think it's very funny that this is just continuously going down. I know this is getting refilled, and that's why this is not empty, but it is objectively very funny. So while we're thinking about it, I'm gonna reopen this so that gets nice and full, so we don't have to worry about it as the rest of this gets drained out, because this will just continuously refill. Now that way we don't have to worry about dumping it out of a fluid dump. Not really in any sort of danger there. Alright. I've got 14. These aren't doing anything either. They're still working on building that levee. What are they building instead that I've explicitly forbidden, and why are they doing some sort of nonsense with me here? I mean, I guess they should be focusing on building the tanks here. Maybe I was mistaken. Well, regardless, the corn is basically harvested. We got maybe another day worth of work on that. Then I can pause these again, and then we'll be able to put those guys to work elsewhere. Hopefully as pumpers. So now we actually have a little bit more capacity. So yeah, they're gonna be fine. They're gonna be fine. We're gonna go ahead and pause that. Unpause those 4. And then, is there any other corn to pick? No? Okay. Just that one piece there gets replanted. A couple pieces get replanted. And these guys can go do something else. Kohlrabies, I guess, are nice to have. Maybe as emergency food, but we probably don't need to be spending a bunch of resources taking care of them at this point. Just doing what we can do. Good news is, this is now full of planks, and I guess we can continue putting planks in the rest of these. So we do want to have a lot of water storage regardless. So at this point, probably we should have 10 or 20,000 water storage, but we just have not had the resources, beavers or otherwise, to make that happen. And I think it's probably unwise to expand the population too much, but I am very, very tempted to do so. I'm going to try my best not to give in to that temptation. Just keep on building levees. See, I'm so used to building with ladders, I actually don't remember what the best strategy for doing with the stairs would be. I mean, obviously it's going to have to be that high here. So we know that's a thing. I don't want to use my planks yet, though, so I guess I can just pause that. That would come down there, and then I didn't unlock the double platform because I wanted to save my science for other stuff, so that's going to have to be... pause that. Down like so, and then I can't reuse any of this, which is unfortunate, but that's going to be the easiest thing for us to do here. Just keep those paused. So we know at the very least the back side can be finished. And then the front side here we might have to do a little bit of a... I guess just back these things up. I could just continue using this platform here, but if I reused it, because I'm going to be able to recover some of these, but I don't want to get rid of this until I absolutely have to. Just making some thoughts out loud here. Oh, this is going to be dried out at some point in time because this water's going away, but it is nice to have the extra corn there. What am I storing in here that I... fermented cassava. No, that needs to be corn. Just raw corn. We should have so much raw corn storage. It just boggles the mind. Oh, this is more raw corn storage. Actually, no, you know what? All of this just needs to be raw corn storage because that is much more dense storage, potentially, when you have these things set up to make all the stuff. Do I not have a tooth unbreaker? The grindstone? I might not. I actually don't think I do. I have to, but I don't know where it would be. The problems of just not remembering stuff. Well, we got 7.5 days left. This has more water in it than I thought it would, which is pleasantly surprising. Question at this point. I've got corn rations, I've got water, I've got pumps. You know, I probably could completely separate these districts again and just build this other mess from both sides. Honestly, I think that might be the way to do it. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's get that undone here. My minimum operating beaver number here. I'd have to have probably 2 guys in the pumps. Gonna have to have... Well, I have corn rations. I have 200 of them, so that's, you know, a couple days worth of stuff. I need to be able to operate both of these at one point in time, even if it's very, very small. So let's just say start with 6, going back to District 7. Get these guys up here. And now that this is disconnected, I can reconnect all of this mess. Gonna have 1 pumper operating that. I've got 3 as builders here. I guess I can go ahead and pause that builder's hut. Yeah, because we want to be able to cut trees down, which we still have plenty of, should we choose to use them. And we want to be able to start doing other stuff. But at the very least, we do want to be able to continue producing planks and stuff so we could eventually get into this mess and build both sides of this dam at once, I think would be my my preference there. So we'll get those undone. Now I've got complete equilibrium because I have this job, these 3 jobs, and that job for the time being, which is, of course, going to send this district into a little bit of chaos. But I think we're probably okay. Probably okay. We do have this builder's hut still, so we do have 8 builders. We don't have corn to harvest yet. This is growing, so I can pause that farmhouse, which means we should have, yeah, 5 beavers in there. And we really have to get some science going, so, I mean, I kind of want to just focus on that. But it really wouldn't do me that much good to have this food factory paused. Now we're still making little baby beavers, that's fine. This guy is still planting, which is fine. But we need to have more storage, so I don't know, man. Planks are going in there. Gears are going in there as well after the planks. And there's building that needs to be done. We just don't really have a great setup for it. Oh well. We're surviving, and that's what matters. That is what matters. So, definitely could be a whole lot worse. As long as these guys don't run out of water, don't run out of food, we'll be in good shape. And I can always send them back over later. But I think we're probably going to be alright. Got a lot of berries I probably should be harvesting also. And none of them are doing scientific research because I'm just trying to keep our pumps full. Although it really wouldn't do us too much good if the pumps were full when the things started. So I'm just gonna pause these so we can get some guys researching, because we absolutely have to have research. No, you fool, don't pause the pumps for research. That's a stupid idea. Yeah, probably. But I really want to make sure that this is finished before the end of the drought here. And I want to make sure that we're still, you know, doing something in this district, even if it's not building the additional dam up here or whatever. We don't want to completely abandon this, which is why wanting to get the corn growing again. Probably shouldn't pump out any more water than what this guy can do, because that's going to cause a lot of this corn to die off. Don't want to get caught with our pants down there. Oh, these guys don't have a house open. Never mind. I forgot. I had to reopen the barracks. So now they're going to have a little bit better time up here. We probably also need to have a forester replant stuff, but I wasn't really on board with that quite. We still have plenty of food, plenty of wood up here. Just have to keep our eye on the prize, so to speak. All right, put these levees in place there. We got 5 days left. We are hungry. We are thirsty. We don't care. No problems. I have 182 science. We're getting there. Kind of. Maybe. I still have haulers. Yeah, oh, we're full. We're full on those guys. Okay, well, if that's the case, then maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe I can have one of these farms going. Because I have the kohlrabies here. Let's go ahead and let those guys get in there. We also don't really have any logs at all in here until these things grow in, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? I got this guy doing his thing. I've got a little bit more wood over here. We can go ahead and cut if we can get over there. Go ahead and mark those. I don't think there's any wood that's really easily accessible down here, which is unfortunate, but is what it is. All of our resources going into the tanks once again. That's fine. Gonna be alright. How are we doing up here? About halfway through our food reserves. That's okay. Can turn this back on at any time. This district actually has a pretty full storage of corn, all things considered. Just got to get that taken care of. But I would like to start getting more wood accrued up here so that we can, when and if we recombine them, we have a neat storage of wood, and then we have all this to take care of as well. It's like, I kind of feel like I should turn this back on, but maybe we're getting way too far ahead of ourselves. All I know is that this really needs to be a thing before the next bad tide, or we're going to be hurting something fierce. It's not going to be fun. Not going to be a good time. Now the corn is starting to come back in, so I probably should get them back in harvesting, even though we have like almost 900 raw corn. Maybe these two can, you know, keep up with it. Maybe it's possible. We'll see what happens. Okay, that's taken care of. Got our next two up and ready to go. And then I think if I'm just going to reuse all of this, that's going to be 3 tall, that's going to be 2 tall, this is going to be 1 tall. I can actually start building that before we get too carried away. And I can actually, well, I could do that, which is not ideal. That's also not going to work, unfortunately, so I'm not going to be able to reuse all of that mess. I did say I needed to get this done, so maybe I should have built this first. I'm going to have all these guys working on it. But I don't have enough extra planks, because I have to keep making water storage. Well, I guess it's probably fine once I have this tank finished to focus on doing that, because I am only going to have a minimum of 7 days to get this side of it built. Ideally less than that, because then we have to have time and space to get it completely filled up. What are we looking at? I really should have installed that height shower mod. I should have done that, but I didn't. It's fine. These guys can focus on building this stuff, since they do have the ability to do that. We've got 2 days left. We got corn grown. We got these guys still have a little bit to eat, which is fine. Let them take care of this mess. In fact, you know what? I can just have them do all this a little bit higher. I don't know that we're going to need it to be that tall, but it's nice to have the insurance. Okay, now this is drying out, so I am going to go ahead and turn on this farmhouse. I don't really have space to put any more corn, so I'm going to put in another couple of warehouses just for raw corn, as one does. Let them do that, and then we're going to have a storage for the corn rations as well. That is not the right button. Yeah, we'll get it figured out. Not really in extreme panic mode yet. Yeah, I still don't have still don't have the right amount of wood for this. 17 gears. This one's 13. I do have enough planks. So, I guess... see, I probably shouldn't pause this. But I think it's going to be more important to have this water here before it becomes a problem, so... Yeah, we'll go ahead and just unpause all this mess. You know, probably not the best idea I've ever had, but it is important to do. Get all this taken care of. Am I still doing okay on haulers? I got 4, that's fine. Continuing to harvest the raw corn. We don't have a ton of rations, but that's fine. I'm desperately trying to get all this taken care of. They're building storage here. That's looking okay. Yeah, we're going to have to turn that machine back on over here at some point soon, but just doing my best with what I got. That's all we can ever do. And we still have water left here, which is great. I was a little worried about that. This has been making pretty good progress, all things considered. Got extra storage here. I don't have beavers available. I really should, but I don't. Is now the time to have extra beavers get born out of the pods? Because we're going to need them. Might as well. Might as well. Just get those 2 reset. That'll be fine. Alright, Cycle 9 begins. Cycle 9 begins. We've survived a full 8 cycles in the apocalypse mode, and boy does it feel like some sort of weird combination of good and bad. The way we've handled stuff. But, you know, all things considered, it really could have been a whole lot worse. So I'm very glad that we've managed to survive this far. It's just a little concerning, especially now that this is all it's all dying. I think it's probably not going to be possible to save all this corn, but hey, what can you do? Not much. 0.3 days. Yeah, some of this is already dried out, but yeah. It is what it is. We made our choice to do the things the way that we did them. So, anyway, having this be the correct height before the next bad tide or drought will be absolutely crucial. But now we have our overflow going in here. This is not going to go into the bad water disposal unit at all. It's just going to fill this up a little bit. And I know this isn't completely optimized for pumping or anything, but having access to the water is always a good thing. So we can be happy about that. The problem now is we don't have a lot of logs down here. We're doing all this construction that requires logs. So, oh, those are actually marked for cutting, but this guy is not cutting. So we don't need the pine trees yet for the resin, but we're going to want to, you know, make sure we're not getting rid of these guys entirely. I've got a couple more trees to cut that I hadn't marked. Nice. Yeah, we're just keeping an eye on what we have going on here. I think this guy's not going to be able to cut much of anything else. So I'm just going to pause the forester, get that beaver back doing something else. Because we got to get our hands on something else in terms of constructing everything. But, again, for the billionth time, could have gone a whole lot worse. Absolutely could have gone a whole lot worse. And now that this is set up, oh, you know what? You know what? We can just get rid of all this mess. We don't need it. Absolutely don't need it. Won't ever need it. Because this is going to be bad water anyway. And we don't need to keep it for bad water pumping purposes because we already have access to that. This is not reachable. That is. Yeah, so I can just very carefully get rid of all this mess. You know what? No, we're not going to need to worry about it right now. It's more important for us to have the actual resources to do what we want to do. But if they started building this... Oh, they didn't. Okay, so we'll just leave this in place in case we want to build it later. But these bits here, logs and planks, and somehow reaching through the corner of a dam to get stuff beyond it. And okay, whatever. Beaver physics. That's going to be much more important. We want to finish this staircase here on this back side so that we can completely seal this up and keep building from this side as best as we can. I don't want to stop. I don't want to stop recording because I feel like I'm going to be in for a world of hurt if I if I don't have everything set up exactly correctly. So I feel like I got to keep it going, but we should be all right. Should be fine. Just get this to equalize here a little bit. Hopefully. I don't know. I'm paranoid about this, man. I'm paranoid about it. It's altered my brain chemistry once again. So, I mean, I still only have 184 science. I really wanted to get an engine going because we were going to need it. We're going to need it. And I really should have these guys pumping like their lives depend on it because they kind of do. But there's just so much else that I want to get done with this that I feel like I can't give up on it yet. Okay, well, that's almost finished. Yeah, so that could actually be part of this district. But it's not going to matter anymore because this is basically done. I'm just going to get that completely finished. Then we'll start retracting with our stuff here. The temptation is very strong. Very, very, very strong to just keep going. But I know I'm going to have to cut it short here. Alright, finish that. Alright, pause. Disconnected. Everything on this side is now no longer important, which means those I know we're only getting half the materials back. I know. Don't worry. But we can use them. Just come and grab those planks and those logs. We come back and get this stuff, get that out of the way. Go ahead and get this situated there. This is going to be underwater, but the beavers can walk underwater. That's not a problem. We'll just have to, you know, fix that later. It is of absolutely paramount importance that this is finished before we end this episode, at least the dam bit, so that we can store plenty of water before this starts going off the side, because that would be a terrible waste. Absolutely terrible waste. And I can't have this, unfortunately, because this is in the bottom, I can't have this be anything else but just open all the time. So that will keep us from wasting a little bit of water, start filling this again. And, you know, we're doing the thing. A little bit suboptimally, but, you know, what else is new, right? It's the way she goes. Now they can finish that. And then we can finally start getting the rest of this taken care of. Boy, is that a thing. All right, now I have a problem up here of not having enough food. So, food factory turn on. I've got 128 logs, which means I can probably justify pausing a lumberjack, at least one of them. So we get a beaver in here actually producing corn rations. We probably should have them make some planks as well. But you know how it goes. This is set down at 0. Bad tide starts 1. Probably should have always been set that way. Yeah, that's fine. This is going to start overflowing soon. This is already kind of backfilling. Ah, we got a flood. We got a flood. Oh, and this guy has nothing to do. So, you know what? I'm going to do myself a kindness here. Just close that thing so we don't have any more nonsense happen. Well, minimal additional nonsense. This is flooding a little bit, so I'll lower that to 0.95, get this going back through again. We just have to have this finished. Absolutely have to have it done. Absolutely have to have it done. So you know what's probably going to end up happening? Is we're probably going to end up just, you know, playing all the way through the thing where we decide the fate of the next cycle here. Just come on, just get this thing going. Let's go. All right, we're making food, we're making water. Everything is okay. This is now kind of a self-sufficient district, I suppose. All right, come on. Do we actually have logs? We have 2 logs. I've got 2. Seriously? I've got 2 logs down here. That's it? That's it? Oh, we're gonna be a little bit of trouble here. Especially because I have these idiots still making stuff. Alright. I need to turn the gear production off. So they stop using the planks. I need to turn the plank production off so they stop using the wood. I need to turn the food factory back on, which also uses wood, but actually makes something that's useful. And I've got 8 hauling post workers. Nobody in the science buildings again. See, I mismanage this stuff just so frequently and so severely that I'm surprised people haven't jumped through the computer to try to kill me yet. It's okay. You can roast me. I'm an adult. Mostly. Oh, man. See, I want this to be full. When this is also just kind of filling from here as well, that's fine. It is... Ooh, unforeseen consequence of this. It's sending some of the good water down the nasty water hole. So we might need to put another floodgate in here at some point. As long as these guys aren't starving. Okay, no, they're doing okay. Alright, so that's done. That means that now this and path, no. There. That's all stuff that's going to take some time. I know this is suboptimal, and I probably should just, you know what? Is it going to be a net positive? So I'll get 4... No, I'll get 2 planks and 1 log back. And yeah, that's going to save me. That's going to save me some bits here. That's fine. Just go ahead and get this connected there. That'll work fine. So I'm going to need 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24 planks. I have 49. The logs are going to be a different story entirely, but I think I might be okay. Just get these as built as we can. This is already filling up quite nicely. I'll go ahead and make sure this is at 1.0 because it literally does not matter otherwise. And I'm going to start opening up additional pumps. That should work, hopefully. Storing a lot of water, we are not behind here, but it will eventually get better. I know there's a significant height difference here and that this is really only going to be 1 or 2 tiles deep, but the idea was I want to connect these 2 sources here because, oh, there we go. Drought approaching in 3 days. So we got a really short temperate season. That would be a paltry 8 days. Why is this drying up? It shouldn't be drying up. Well, I guess we probably should... Do I have my triple floodgate or just have the regular floodgate? Nope, I got my regular one. This... See, this probably needs to be replaced with a floodgate, but I don't have the planks up here for that yet. Is this still closed? Yeah, let's open this. Try to get the rest of this back filled in time. Hey, this is it's connected again. Nice. All right, well, if that's the case, then I'm going to turn on this medium tank. And we can probably... Yeah, because I took all these beavers away to go upstairs so we could get this district going again. I probably should bring them back so we can have pumpers. Probably. I don't know. I got plenty of stuff to think about. For now, though, I just want to get this filled up. There is a substantial quantity of drainage in here I hadn't... or drainage is in, like, ditches to fill. Not water is going to go away. But I hadn't thought about that. Surging in quite nicely. So we will get only about another block out of this. But, you know what we can do? Is we can just keep building this thing up. There's no rule that says the dog can't play basketball, right? So, this is, Wait, did this close again? Come on, lag. No, it's open. Turn off above downstream depth. I guess the pressure differential is no longer going to allow that to get away with that. Okay. Well, we'll have something something better to do with this at some point. I'm just glad that worked. That's going to be a nice thumbnail. We got water here. We got water here. That will... Most of it will feed back into this. I guess it's fine. I know we need to fix that. That's going to be a whole thing. What I need is I really need better water storage up here. That's a huge problem. So, man, I keep feeling like I really need to focus on building this, but I just know it's not true. Like, eventually, yeah, we're going to want it, but right now, no. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I really, really need to be pumping and taking care of stuff down here. So, I am, once again, going to combine the districts. I know. It's like emotional whiplash getting this stuff set back up and then just turning it off again. But we can pause that farmhouse. These are no longer marked as prioritized by haulers, which is fine. Yeah, let's just get these guys back over here. Take that minimum away. I mean, it's nice to have the ability to, you know, split them up if you have to. But I really cannot justify not having the science going and not having all the pumping happening here. Plus, these trees are going to be grown at some point and they'll need to be harvested, but I don't really have any more trees to cut here, so this guy can get paused as well. Now I've got a full hauling post. These are flooded, which doesn't matter. No jobs up here should be operating at all. We do have corn storage, more corn storage, more corn storage. It's probably fine. I have all this corn storage. I got so much corn stored up. I got over 1,000 across both districts, which is nice. Yeah, we got to get our science up. We just have to. This lumberjack flag needs to be paused. I thought I paused that. So we should... Yeah, we should see our things going here. And I can transit the dam, which is nice. This is continuing to fill. Hoping that this fills up about as much as it can reasonably fill before we get to our super dangerous ultimate fate here, entering cycle 10. I think that might be when the gloves come off. For it's either the last cycle with the handicap or it's the first one without one. In terms of drought duration. 10% handicap for 10 cycles, and this is cycle 10. So let's find out. How long of a drought are we going to have this time? 49 days. 49 days. All right. Well, you know, this is where the rubber meets the road, folks. We've got water stored here. We got water stored here. We got water down here. I've got now an incredibly urgent need to pump as much water as physically possible and finish this medium tank and keep building medium tanks because I don't have the resources to build the large ones. So, you know, maybe it was a good thing that we abandoned this district again because this water certainly isn't going to be here by the time we're all done. If we feel so inclined, depending on how things go toward the end of, if we make it toward the end of the 49-day drought, we might end up just demolishing this and just say, you know what? All the water comes through here. It all drains through here. But if we're continuously pumping and we can continue to increase our storage capacity, we're going to be in decent shape. I'm not going to say good shape, but decent shape. Yeah, probably. So, regrettably, this is where I must leave you for today. But I really appreciate you watching this series, giving your feedback, giving your ideas, helpful tips, etc., so on and so forth. And yes, even the constructive criticism, always welcomed. I always read all the comments, can't respond to everybody, but I do appreciate you being here. Beard Boosters, you already know the drill. It's not possible to do this without you, so thank you very much for your support. And thank you very much to everyone else who watches as well, as these videos have been doing really, really great. They've been getting a lot of good traction, and I am very happy with how things have gone. At this point, I don't know if we're going to make it 49 days with what we have going on now, but we're going to have a good time next episode regardless. I'm probably not going to get through the entire drought in one episode unless I triple speed it, which I probably shouldn't be doing. But we're in a much better place now than we were at the beginning of the episode, and that is a testament to all of the feedback and the ideas and everything that you guys gave me, because I sure wouldn't have come up with all this on my own. So, again, thank you very much for being here. Don't forget we started a new Ember Pelts video series yesterday, so go check that out. The map on that one's really cool. And, of course, we're going to continue with the live stream series as well, but might not be back to that one for another week or two, depending on what I have to do on Saturdays. All that being said, that's all the time I got. I hate to leave you on a cliffhanger, but I also kind of don't hate to leave you on a cliffhanger. It's more fun. So whatever it is you're doing with the rest of your day, stay safe, have fun, and we will see you in the next one. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.